Hi loves! So today's video is a little different than what you normally see on CCTV. Wednesdays I try to give you guys vlogs of what happened that week to me, but today I wanted to sit down and have a kind of serious conversation with you guys. And this video is different because it's a two-parter. So today you'll get my side, which is part 1, and the next Wednesday you'll get my husband's side, which is part 2. And this video, if you cannot tell by the title, is about being married young. And I want to do this because this topic is coming up so much, and people always have different views or different opinions. Some say you shouldn't, some say you do, and I just wanted to kind of talk about it, give you a better understanding from someone who is married young, because if you guys didn't know, I'm only 20 and I'm married. So yeah, so get cozy because this is going to be like a girl to girl or girl to guy or whoever talk. So get cozy, get your cup of hot chocolate, and let's go. Okay, we met in high school when I was 15 and he was 16. We became best friends, and I don't mean the best friend that you just see when you're at school. I mean the best friend, like, we literally did everything together. He spent the night at my house, I went out with his mother, he went out with my parents. Like, we were inseparable. We did sports together. Like, it was just, and everyone knew that it was just us. Like, we were like this. Like, we clicked, even though we're kind of opposites on some things, like a lot of things, and we're still opposite on some things. We've always just had that connection, and we've always cared for one another. So yeah, we met in high school, and we started dating in high school. So we're high school sweethearts, and we actually got best couple of the year, junior year and senior year. So, but our high school was really small, and we were like the only two people that were dating that were in the same grade. But yeah, we met in high school, became best friends, and then once, you know, he realized that he had feelings for me, which was totally out of nowhere because everyone always said that we should date, and we just never saw that in one another. Like, we would literally hook each other up with different people, or we'll give each other girlfriend or boyfriend advice. Like, we just never had that interest in one another. Like, even my family was saying, like, you know, you guys would be really good together. We just never saw it. And then one night, out of like the clear blue, out of nowhere, we were arguing, and I was like, you know what, I don't want to be your friend anymore, which I knew wasn't going to work because every time I tell him I don't want to be his friend, he's like, okay, go get some ice cream, then come back, we could talk about it, you know, and I never really get what I want. One night when we were arguing and I said I didn't want to be your friend, he like grabbed me by my hands. He actually started to cry, so I was like, oh, you're serious. Like, I knew this argument was already serious, but I was like, oh, you're serious, because that was the first time I had ever seen him cry. And he called me by my full name. I'm not going to tell you guys that yet. We're working our way up to it. But he called me by my full name, and he goes, will you be my girlfriend? And I just sit there like, no. Because I'm like, you don't have feelings for me. Like, I'm like, oh my god, what is happening? And then my girl best friend is there with me. She's been wanting us to date since we met, so she's crying, and everybody's emotions is just running high, and I'm like, what is going on? And I'm like, you're not serious. And he's like, no, I'm serious. And he calls me by my full name again, and he's like, he stares me like deep into my eyes, and he's like, will you be my girlfriend? And I was like, okay, because like as soon as he did that, it was like every emotion that was good that you can have towards someone happened, and I was like, I automatically love you. And so it was really easy for us to get along. It was really easy for us to fall in love because we were already best friends and we already knew everything about each other, and he had seen me at my worst at this point, and I'm telling you guys, it gets worse and worse when it comes to me, and he's seen all of it and he already loved all of it. So, you know, our relationship from the beginning was really fun, really cool, really easy. Our families are total opposites. My family, I have a very big family. My parents also married young. They got married when they were 19, and they've been married for 25 years this year in September. And, you know, they're okay with young marriage because that's what they did, and they've made it through the ringer. And I've never seen them argue, fight, say one foul word to each other. in my whole entire life. Not because they were trying to hide it and seem like they were perfect. They just didn't want that in front of their kids, and that's the type of couple they are. Like, they don't disrespect each other. They know that respect comes first. So when my parents heard the idea about us getting married, and I mean, they knew because they've been around our relationship literally the whole time we've been together. So they knew that it was coming. They knew how we were. They knew that we were a little bit more mature than other, teenagers. And it took my dad, I think they said 2 weeks for him to say yes to Roger when he asked for my hand in marriage. And I didn't expect anything less of him because he's one of those overprotective dads, like, this is my daughter, you need to treat her right because I treat her right and I treat her mother right and her sister right. Like he's that type of dad. So my parents, they were supportive of it. They was like, as long as you truly understand the meaning of marriage, that you can't walk away, that you have to love this person through thick and thin, that you have to support them, work through things. And like, they talked us like just out of the world about marriage. But they were like, as long as you guys truly understand, you guys truly like know why you want to be together and why you should be together and why you guys should create a future together, they were like, okay, we support you. Because my parents are loving, and that's just how they are. Like, they're never going to not support one of their kids, and I love them for that so much. So my parents were okay with the idea. My mom even helped me pick out a dress that I didn't even get to wear. Like, it was very nice on their part. His family, however, you know how, people have monster in-laws? Like, I have, like, a type of version of that because it's not necessarily his whole family, but his mother didn't agree with the idea of us getting married young. She thinks that you should wait, you should get a degree because somehow a degree determines if you should get married or not. Yeah, that's like basically her thing, and honestly, she just like doesn't like me that much. So my family was okay with it. His family was not okay with it. And we still struggle with that today because it puts such a stress on the relationship when one half is telling you not to do it and then the other half is. And that is the moment that you guys just have to learn how to lean on each other and believe in each other and not listen to any outside source. So we were 19 when we got married, and we got married in Texas literally the day he graduated basic because he joined the Air Force, and he graduated basic June 9th, and we were like, okay, we were already engaged, and we were like, okay, let's go get married. The courthouse closed at 4:30, and we literally got there at 4:15 because this is my first time driving in Texas ever. I had never been to Texas. The traffic was terrible. He couldn't drive because they have like this rule that when you graduate, you can't drive in uniform when you're in basic, and so I had to drive this little rental car, and I'm going insane because the intersection is like, it's so twisted. I'm like, what is going on? And so we finally get there at 4:15, and we didn't even have our marriage license, but since he was technically active duty, we were allowed to get married in the same day, so we had to go get our marriage license. I didn't know that they didn't take cash, so I had my card, and they were like, oh no, we can only take cash, and they were like, yeah, there's an ATM over in the other building down the stairs, blah, 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 and so I took off running because they were like, you have like 15 minutes to do this, to do everything. So I took off running. I go get the cash, I come back, I give her the cash, we get our marriage license. That took about 10 minutes, and so now we have to find someone to marry us. And so she was like, I think there's a judge still here, let me call him. So she calls the judge up. She was like, you guys go down to the very first floor, go all the way to the end of the hallway, and then you're gonna make a left and there's a door on your right. And I'm like, okay. And so we took off running that because that courthouse is huge. Like, it's one of the biggest courthouses I've ever been in. And so we take off running, and people are like telling us where to go, telling us where to run, like cheering for us. But we're so out of breath because we're like, oh my god, we need to get this done because today was literally the only day we could do it. If we didn't do it that day, we literally had to wait an extra 4 months. I wasn't going to be on his orders. I wasn't going to be able to move with him. It was literally like the only day we had. And so we go down there. The judge is so sweet and so nice, and he marries us, and we forget all the all the chaos that we just went through like just a couple of seconds ago. And we say our vows, and he puts the ring on my finger. I said ring. He puts the ring on my finger, and yeah, we're married. And I was so unbelievably happy. Like, I was like, I was great. I was just in a wonderful bliss in that moment. And so yeah, married at 19, June 9th. Yeah. And since we had a courthouse wedding and there wasn't anyone there, we are going to have a destination wedding. I think we said 2 years from now. So you guys are definitely gonna have to be ready for that video. Oh, the best thing about being married. I only get to choose one. I only get to choose one. Best thing about being married, there's so many things that are so good. But you know what? You know what I like the most is that you cannot walk away. You can't just walk away. Like, you guys are legally binding. Like, this is it. This is who you are with for the rest of your life, unless they do something that's like dire, like you guys are constantly cheating on each other, domestic violence, or like you guys are just toxic for one another. At least these are my beliefs. Like, you guys are partners for the rest of your life. And so I love that you can't just walk away. Like, when I get annoying, when I get needy, when I need attention, he can't just walk away from me. I'm like, boom, come here, we gotta, you're stuck with me. And I can definitely get annoying, and like, especially around that time of the month, I can definitely get needy and I want attention, and he has to give me all of it. So I love that. That's my favorite part about getting married. But if I had to be serious, I would say it's learning someone else, because we're so young. We're still trying to figure out where we're going in life, trying to figure out who we are, trying to figure out what we want for our future. And I love that I get to learn him over and over again, every single day, every single week, every single year. I get to literally fall in love with this new person. Like, when we first started dating, I was in love with this person that was just all about football. That's all that he can think about. Then when we went to college, I fell in love with this person who was really good at math and wants to be a physician assistant and like save people's lives. And now I'm in love with this person who likes to try different recipes and cooks all the time and is good at it. Like, I get to fall in love with someone new every day. And that's the best part about being married young, is that even though you don't know yourself yet, you have someone with you that's helping you figure yourself out, and you're helping them figure themselves out. Like, and you guys just get to keep falling in love over and over again, and it's just so fun. Even though sometimes he can start doing things that you don't like he mentioned hunting, and like, I'm a vegetarian, I don't kill animals, like, it's just not, no, I don't do that. And I'm like, hunting, boo, like, no. But you know, he immediately was like, yeah, no, that's not you, I can't do that. So it's literally just working with one another and finding new things to fall in love with. It's so great. And that was my sister in the back. Worst thing about being married, I mean, it has its up and downs, like every marriage does. It consists of compromises, sacrifices, and I mean, that's just a normal part of a healthy relationship, because no two people are going to agree on everything, no matter how old you are, no matter how good life gets, no matter how much money you have in your account, no matter how many kids you guys have. There's no two people in the world that are going to agree on 100% of things. Like, it doesn't happen. So there's going to be compromises and sacrifices in every relationship, and of course we have that. I think people think when you get married young that this happens more often, but that's so not true. I see couples around me that are much, much older and have like way more problems than we do, and don't know how to communicate, don't know how to talk things out. But we sit down and we talk every single night. We do not go to sleep upset. No matter what we did to each other that day, no matter how mad we are, do not go to sleep upset. Do not go to sleep upset. I can't tell you how many times, like, that really matters. Don't go to sleep upset. Like, whatever you do, kiss your partner before you go to bed. Tell them you love them, because tomorrow's not promised. It's not. And you don't know what that person is feeling inside. Like, you don't know what they've been through today. Just, you know, make up. So there really is no worst part about being married. If I had to say from an outside source, the worst part about being married young is the fact that people do have so many opinions, and they feel the need to voice all of them, which is so not necessary. They tell you that you're making a mistake, that this is wrong, that you have so much to experience because you're young. I cannot tell you how many countless times I have heard that, or my husband has heard that. And the worst part is we're hearing that from his family. Like, it's not just outside people that we don't know, or distant friends or coworkers, but it's his family. And so that is actually the worst part, because you're like, this is my family, they're supposed to love me and support me, but instead they're telling me, you know, there's so much out there for me to experience. Like, I don't want to tell you guys to just like hush your mouth and don't say anything to someone that's getting married young. If you have a serious concern, voice it, but voice it with respect. And if you're choosing to get married young and you have these opinions in your ear, don't just like brush them to the side. Consider them, talk to them with your partner, and make sure that you guys are on the same page. Because the worst part about being married young is literally everyone's 2 cents is all up in your business. Even though it shouldn't be, it is. And that's just the way the cookie crumbles. That's just how that goes. You can't avoid it. Everybody will always have something to say, and you have to learn how to just talk and communicate with one another, and just push those to the side, boo, because that's what we had to do. And I don't let it get to me, because I know my husband is on the same page as me. I know that we can work things out. I know that we're doing good, we're doing great, we're living life, you know, so I don't let it bother me. I can only give one thing of advice, because I have so much to give. First, the one that I said earlier, never go to sleep upset. 2, communicate. 3, don't let outside sources, outside opinions, outside 2 cents rule your relationship. Learn how to talk to each other. Learn how to lean on one another. Okay? Number 4, be patient. Be very, 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 very patient. Especially if you're a woman. Be patient, because men, no matter what age, they're never ready when you're ready. You're always going to be ready for something before them. Just learn how to be patient, talk to them, be loving, try not to rush to the attitude and get crazy, because we can all do it. And just truly like talk and take your time with one another. Number 5, learn each other. There's so much to learn, no matter how long you guys have been together. We've been together since I can't even remember now, before we graduated high school. So yeah, a long time. But you would think by now we would know everything about each other, but that's so not true. No matter if you have been married for 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, 25 years, there is always something to learn about your partner. Never forget that. And never stop wanting to learn. Always be interested in them. Always give them your everything. Always show them that, hey, I care about you and I want to know what intrigues you. Like, just learn about them, because it's so cool learning something new about someone that you love. Another relationship advice is take your time. You don't have to rush things at all. You don't have to hurry up and get married because you feel pressured to get married. You don't have to hurry up and have a kid because you feel pressured to have a kid. Take your time, because along with being young and married, you have to remember you are still young, and like, you don't have to rush to all those things. However, if that's what you want to do, boo, do it. But I'm saying take your time. Make sure you're fully ready. Make sure your partner's fully ready. Make sure everyone's on the same page, and then go for it. Don't try to rush things and they get out of control. It never works. Another relationship advice is, if you or your partner mess up, try to keep it within you guys. Or if you guys feel like you need counseling, go and talk to someone who, you know, will be confidential and won't like spread your business everywhere. When you and your partner have an argument, it is not meant for you to go and tell the world, because the world is not going to forgive him or her as soon as you forgive him or her. We live in a very unforgiving world, and we have unforgiving friends. I know if I tell my best friend that my husband just did some stuff that he wasn't supposed to be doing, she's not going to forgive him as soon as I forgive him. So some things, most things, a lot of things, try to settle within yourself. Try to just talk to one another and not bring anyone else in, because they're not going to see it from your point of view, because they don't love that person like you do. they don't. And if they do, then you got some serious problems to be watching out for. But you love them with everything in your heart, so you have to figure out how to forgive them, how to move on, how to compromise. What is the solution in this argument? If I have to give another advice, it would be smart about everything. Be smart about finances. Be smart about where you move to, where you live, how many kids you have. If you get even if you get a pet, just be smart about everything, like, and take each step with caution, and realize that what you're doing today is going to affect your tomorrow, even if it's something as simple as going out to eat to a fancy restaurant. Maybe if you guys only have like $100 in the account, maybe a fancy restaurant isn't the smart move to go, because you guys are going to spend $70 tonight, but you're only going to have $30 tomorrow. You get what I'm saying? So be smart about each move you make, and I mean, just love one another. Don't forget that it comes first. Love. Once you have love and laughter and patience, everything else will fall into place. Because even though love is not the only reason to get married, it is a major factor, because love is kind, love is patient, love is heartfelt. Love does not take into account a wrong. You know, love is truly the foundation of a good relationship. So make sure both of you guys understand that. And if you are already married and you're young, good luck on your marriage. I'm so happy for you. I hope both of you guys are happy. Like, try to keep me updated. And if you're young and you're thinking about getting married, talk about it with your partner and, you know, with your family, and anyone else you want to talk about it with, but make sure this is what you actually want to do, and don't do it because someone else is pressuring you to do it, and don't do it because someone else is saying no. So make sure this is for you, because this is going to affect you in the long run. You're going to have a lifelong partner. And yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. I know that was like a lot different than what I normally do, but I kind of liked it. So if you guys like it, definitely comment or give this video a thumbs up, and let me know if you want to see more like talking videos of this, because even though I'm young, I kind of been through a lot, guys, and I have a lot of wisdom, because I have an old soul and I'm surrounded by older people all the time, and like I learned from my parents, so like I really listen when they're telling me something. So I really like these talks. So yeah, thank you guys for watching CCTV, and stay tuned, and you know I love you. Okay, later.